Hi, I'm Lola, and today I'm going to be making my husband and I's Halloween costumes for this year. We're going to be going as the Twilight Princess versions of Link and Zelda. Mine's going to be a little bit more inspired by, his will be a little bit more accurate. Funnily enough, I originally designed my gown with the Great Fairy in mind. I loved her wings, I adored the shape, but I wasn't quite able to figure out how to make those work, and I'm running out of time. So I'm gonna go based off of Princess Zelda instead. And I have the sketch right here I can show you. My husband's out of town, so I have a few days of working on this all by myself. I know it's kind of hard to see, but there's gonna be an underlayer, and I'm gonna base that one off of a nightgown. So it's going to have a peak of lace right at the V-neck. So this is some vintage nightgown that I own, and I love how it sits, so I'm going to use this as a base, but it's just a little bit too yellow to use as part of this actual thing. And I found this beautiful window treatment. I think it's a Lance, and it is purple velvet, and it's got these pretty little beads dangling from it, and it's going to be just enough for that corset. I'm going to add little cap sleeves. There we go. Gotta find the right words. And it's gonna have a pointed waist. I'm basing the pattern off of this one from Butterick. Yes, Butterick. And I modified it a little bit, so I readjusted things. So I'm going to be doing the pointed part from this one, but with the straps of this one. And then I'm also changing it so it's going to lace up the back instead of the front. And I lowered the back neckline a little bit as well. So that's that, and then I'm going to draft the other things. This is going to be the undermost layer. Nice and flowy. I'm gonna use some vintage lace that I've been stashing for the neck. Then I also have a whole bunch of this beautiful sheer fabric that a friend gave me that she didn't need anymore after making her own wedding dress. So I'm gonna just use a whole bunch of this. I have several bolts worth. The idea is to have the underdress kind of show through all these layers of sheerness, but I'm gonna make it poofy and beautiful, and I'm gonna have so much fun making this. And if you guys want to stick around, I'd love to have your company. Let's get started. Oh my gosh, that's the front panel alone. And Tito is going to go absolutely bonkers that I'm talking, but I'm not talking to him. That is more than 65 inches, people. I do not think I can possibly get it. Nope. That is a nope from Lola. So maybe I can get it to sit in this. This is the front, so I don't need to do a train anyways. What am I even thinking? Once I made a decision on how I should do this, then I had to cut it out and decide on what kind of lace I wanted to use. It's just me, or does this one look like TIE fighters from Star Wars? I applied the lace by using a zigzag stitch on my machine. I serged together the side panels of the skirt and had a quick little try on. Hello. So there is a problem. Yeah, there is a problem. I've got it the bodice all sewn together. See all the threads everywhere. And it's looking really cute. However, I can't get it over my head. I can't get it on my body, so I need to do some adjustments. The fabric is not as stretchy as I anticipated. The nightgown I'm basing this off of is very, very stretchy, and this is not. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. I'm thinking of just putting a triangle gusset in the side seams here to help give more room at the waist. So I already have the elastics on for the sleeves. Sleeves? Yeah, I think so. So it's very cute. I just need to fix it. So here's the problem. I guess I made this about 24 inches wide at the waist. And for reference, I am 28, so it was not going to fit at all. Anyways, I think I have a solution and I have the measurements I need to get it fixed. I did a gathering stitch on the skirt to help cinch everything to match the waist. My machine tried to eat my fabric, but I was able to patch it with another piece of lace, thankfully. Hi, it's day 2 working on my costume, and the underdress is almost done. It is so stinking cute. I probably won't be trying it on for you guys, but it's turning out very well, and I did have to add a gusset so I could fit into the sides. All that's left is doing the hem, which might need some lace because the front turned out a little bit too short for what I was looking for. And then I might add some lace along the caps. I may even add some fluffy sleeves because I have the extra fabric of just tacking them on here for some extra flounce. And I will also work on the corset today, so I am super stoked. After making sure the mock-up fit nicely, I went ahead and cut out all my pieces for both the velvet, the interfacing, and the lining layers. Alright, so I'm still working on the corset and I've made progress. I decided to do 2 cotton layers of the lining, and from there I'm going to sew the channels for the boning in. Then I'll attach it to the velvet because I would rather not have a bunch of lines disrupting the velvet. I want it to look very, very luxurious. So here's what I've got going. So I didn't quite have enough of this purple fabric to do the whole lining that way, but I'll just do some green as well, just to help it stretch a little further. And I got all this fabric thrifting. I went ahead and sewed all the velvet pieces together as well as the lining pieces, sewed the boning channels into the lining piece, then attached along the top neckline both the velvet and the lining, cut out all the boning, inserted them, added the bias tape around the raw edges and hand stitched those shut, and added the grommets.
hubby was also very kind and helped me pin the hems.
I don't know what 2 inches is though.
For the sleeves of the underdress, I ended up taking a scrap piece of fabric, folding it up, deciding I liked how it hung, and then I just repeated that for the other sleeve.
Hello, it has been a day or two, and I've been making progress. But, however, the event that I would like to use these costumes for is Saturday, and today is Monday. So I am running out of time and I need to get cracking. So here's all that's left that I need to do. On my outfit, I need to finish embellishing the corset, which is up over there. I ended up making the ribbon myself because I couldn't find the right color match. I need to hem up my underdress, add little sleeves that I've thrown together onto it, and add some lace as well to the shoulders. Then I need to do my overgown, and then I need to worry about my husband's costume as well, which is a whole nother can of worms. But let's get going on hemming the dress.
I laid out the whole dress and cut along the pins that my husband set for me, smoothing it out as I went a little bit, serged those edges, and turned them over and stitched them to make the hem.
Hi, it's now the afternoon of the next day, and I am going to work on the overskirt. And I've kind of narrowed down the plan, so I think I'll do a lining for the base of the bodice. Then I'll use scrap pieces from cutting out the skirt panels to go over the top, like so. Da-da-da. And I need to cut out a bunch more layers of the skirt, so let's go.
I used my sloper I made in college to give me a basic bodice to use as the base for the overdress. And I just drew on it in the bathroom mirror where I wanted those lines to go.
Hi, today's Thursday and I feel like I am slowing down even though I still have so much left to do. I have most of the overskirt done. However, I was planning on using fishing wire for the hem, right? Turns out I grabbed the wrong weight size, however it works, of fishing lines. So yeah, I might have to go get some new fishing line for that one. And I decided to make my life easier when it comes to decorating the corset. I was planning on putting a whole bunch of beads on there. When I was cutting out the corset, instead of hacking the bottom part up that had all these beading on it, I just cut just along the top of it, so it's still got the ribbon casing on behind it. It's all hand stitched on. So I decided to just use this and pin this on the places where I wanted it to go. So take a peek underneath. That whole ribbon thing is there just to save myself time, because how they sewed it on here is they used one continuous thread. So each bead is connected to the others. So if I was to take one bead off, then the whole thing comes apart. Then I would have to then myself go in and do each individual one. I still have the crown to do, and then figuring out my husband's part of the costume as well. So there's still a little bit to do, but let's get going. Today I'm going to be making his tunic, the hat, boot covers and gloves, and maybe even a leather pouch if I feel up to it. We'll see. I haven't done leather working before, so if there's not time, then that's fine because Halloween's like tomorrow, so I am a little behind, but this will be fun and I am super stoked.
For the boot covers, I just pinned my husband's leg and traced. I also traced his hands and added seam allowance. You can see the exact moment I realized I did it on the wrong grain and had to redo it. Cut it out, serged it. Don't know how I did that. It also wouldn't fit on my hand, so I had to do it all over again. And I also serged the boot covers as well. For the tunic, I just simply took a tunic that already fit my husband and used it as a template to make his own tunic in green. I also added some bias binding to the neckline and folded it over and hand stitched it down as well to finish that seam. And then I cut out the hat, serged that as well, and here we are ready for the reveal.
Wrap up time. So I just finished taking photos and filming the reveal. Things that went well, things that didn't go well. I didn't film a ton of my husband's part of the costume because it was very late and I wanted to get it done, so I didn't film everything for that one. I love how the corset turned out. It's very pretty and velvety, and the sleeves I think look fantastic. I'm in love with the underdress. I think my least favorite part is back here. There's an opening where you can see my underlayer for this part of the dress, and it's still just the plain cotton. So that's probably my least favorite part, but overall I think this turned out really well. I'm amazed I finished it on time, and my husband was saying that it's his favorite costume I have ever made for him, which is a pretty high compliment. And yeah, that's all. Thank you for joining me on this journey, spending your time with me. Thank you for watching. Because on this one, this dress has a back panel. Hey! Are you gonna say no? She said no. Yeah. Hi, buddy. So the idea is to have the